There's no fairness, it's needed for kicks. Laughter's a laugh, playful smiles, die gets raw.
So with each impending anime season, I look forward to one thing more than most. And no, I'm not talking about the slew of crappy moe series, or just the daring storytelling of what most anime premiering this season is. I'm talking about anime openings. That's what I'm most looking forward to with each season, because they just give you a feel of what a series is all about, and it shows you what the studio is willing to do to promote this series, to push this series forward, whether you're talking about great song choice, or you're talking about great animation, or direction, or a mixture of both. That is my favorite part about each anime season, because I certainly do not have time to watch through every single show that premieres, but I did. I watched through every single show that has premiered, mostly every single show. There's like 2 or 3 crappy moe series, as I was mentioning earlier, that I haven't watched yet, but I just can't, guys. I can't. I cannot. Anyway, with that being said, there are plenty of great openings to go through. I had to pick 5 for this video, my top 5 favorite openings this fall anime season, and we're starting off with the first opening for HeTomorrow Sumo. The song is called Fireground, and it is by Official Dis-M. I'm not quite sure. I had to write this one down. I don't really know. I apologize. The song is called Fireground, and it is absolute fire. It just really encapsulates what this show is, and that is just kick-ass shonen. That's what we're doing here, and it does it so well with this opening. It's got kind of a jazzy beat to it. It's very uplifting, it's very smooth, we see all these great characters. One of my favorite parts of the opening is actually the ending, seeing the camera just sweeping around our main character, just how cool the main character looks. This was one of the first series I actually watched this season, and it was just a great way to kick things off. Unfortunately, not a lot of series met up to the standard that is HeTomorrow Sumo, but I really, really love this opening. And it was very, very hard placing it at number 5, I'm not gonna lie. It deserves to be higher, but there's just so many great ones. I really, really like this opening though. Just greatness. Kimi no Se by the Peggies. This is Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. The first opening really encapsulates youth to me. As I was saying about Fireground with the first series I was talking about, that sort of encapsulates the sort of rock and roll spirit that is shonen, that is that series. But this encapsulates sort of the drama and just the humanity within this series. Now, I'm not sure how good this series is going to turn out. I've only watched 2 episodes. I've dug those 2 episodes. But this opening did a really good job of just kind of solidifying the drama within each of these characters and what's going on through their heads, and just seeing that frame of our main character sort of punching the sky. My absolute favorite. I love that frame so much. It kind of kicks off the course there. The way the opening ends is really cool too. I like sort of just the mellow vibe of it. It's very dramatic and it's very emotional, and I like getting that sense just with the opening. I thought the Peggies, whoever the lead singer is, just has a fantastic voice, and it really just showcases just the idea of this series, the idea of these themes, and I think that they did a really good job of directing that in this opening as well. Again, I want to place this further along the list, but there's just so many great ones. I really dug this opening. The Peggies are an up-and-coming band, in terms of openings, in my opinion, but this one's fire. I won't lie to you. Alright, now we're getting into the top 3. We're talking about OXT, the song is called Union, the series is called SSS Grid Man. This series is really cool. This is actually one of my favorite series this season, to be honest. I really, really like this show. I really like what they're doing, and I adore this opening. My god, guys, it's just so good. It's just so good, and it reminds me of what I love about super giant robots. And I think that that's kind of what this show sells. And it's kind of a strange thing because the series, it does focus on that very much, but there's sort of like this dramatic lining throughout that. It's not just about robots beating the crap out of each other or robots fighting giant kaiju. It's about the humans that are sort of piloting Grid Man, the humans behind it all, and sort of what they're going through, losing their friends in the process, sort of having this weird, almost Monogatari vibe going on with what's going on with the characters in the school and everything like that. I really dig that. I truly do, and I think this opening does a good job of not only capturing that side, but also capturing the giant robots fighting huge kaiju. I adore this one. Again, as I mentioned, it's just action-packed, and it's very shonen too, and again, that's going to be a theme that I'm going to be using quite a bit, is shonen, because I think shonen openings have some of the, there's some of the better ones, but this opening just, it's energetic, and again, just like Rascal, it's very youthful. It reminds me of being young. It makes me want to explore these characters and explore their journey, sort of this coming-of-age kind of thing about these youngings just going in and controlling giant robots, and seeing the characters too. There's one sweeping shot. Now, I haven't seen all these characters in the series. I know one of them is named Samurai Caliber. Seeing him with like all these other, I'm guessing there are other weapons that Grid Man can wield, seeing all those other characters with the wind blowing, one of my favorite frames out of all of these openings, just so cool. And one of the last frames is seeing the girl in the classroom, I can't remember her name, and then seeing Grid Man pop up and the glass just shattering. Wow. Just what a great cut there. Good way to end the opening. I love this one. It is truly great, and this is a truly great series too. I mean, it's not, I don't know if it's truly great, it's not over yet, but I definitely recommend checking this one out. It's on Crunchyroll. It's one of my favorites this season. Give it a shot. Truly. It's good.
Fighting
You all know it's great. We're talking about Jojo, Golden Wind. My goodness. Just my goodness. What an opening. Again, I'm getting shonen vibes, but they're playing around with some things here. Now, I am not a fan of Jojo. I have not seen one episode, and I know that is criminal, and I really should do myself the favor and watch it, but I'm not a fan of this series, and this opening just, it pulls on me. It truly does. The direction here. I think out of all of these openings, this one has some of the most stellar direction. One of my favorite cuts in this opening is seeing the hourglass tip over, and then the chains going up to some character. I have no idea who it is. I really like it. The song choice is fantastic. It is hype, it is flames, and it's very energetic, and again, a little youthful, but it's also dark and mysterious. And I think that is kind of a theme that goes on through Jojo, if I'm not mistaken. But I just really like how the opening plays around with those themes. I like how this opening sort of grabs that darkness and that light and sort of mixes them around and throws it at your face in a just catastrophic explosion of great J-pop. Like, I really like this opening. It hits you real hard right away. One of the more hype openings this season. One of the more hype series this season, I've heard. And I've really got to get on Jojo, don't I? I know. I know.
Save you.
Now, not too much of a surprise here because I've talked about this opening in a couple of videos now, but yeah, we're talking about Bananafish opening too. This blue on-count greatness, this shonen greatness. Again, I told you I'd be mentioning that word a couple of times throughout this video. It really just, it's a shonen opening at its absolute purest and finest. And it's not really even a shonen series. That's kind of the weird part there. And I know technically this might not be the best opening, in terms of animation and even song choice. And there's lots of parts about this opening that don't make it the best, but it's just my favorite. I won't lie to you, and it might have something to do with how the series is going. It might have something to do how just final this opening feels, how it feels like we're entering the last act of the series, and that kind of gets me not necessarily emotional, but it definitely like strikes a chord within me, realizing that. And it's a series that's a part of this channel. It's one of the series that I've watched all the way throughout this point. Most of these series on this list, all of these series, a couple of them I haven't even watched, and I think that adds to the opening. I truly do. I will admit that. But it is a very, very good opening, technically speaking, too. The way it opens, just seeing Ash open his eyes, these sweeping shots of Eiji, man, just so good. Mappa did a really good job, and even the direction's very good as well. Seeing Ash reach out for that mirror, having it crack, having the characters being split apart, the outstanding background work in the beginning, and the song choice. It is just extremely hype. It reminds me of some of the older Naruto openings. It reminds me of just seeing our characters, our favorite characters, in just sort of weird scenarios. Seeing Sasuke with a curse mark and him dropping his headband in this weird blue background. Like, stuff like that I really dig. That's something I really dig about the Jojo opening, because it's not grounded, or I'm not 100% sure, I guess, because I haven't seen it yet, but seeing these characters in a place that's not necessarily in a series. It's an opening. It's not capturing moments from the series. It's making their own moments. It's hyping the characters up in different, more artistic ways. And that's what I love most about the Bananafish opening. Plus the snow stuff. Seeing our characters just in the snow. How beautiful are those backgrounds? Just incredible. Truly incredible. Those are my top 5 favorite openings this season. Now, I know there are a couple of other ones that are just as good, if not better. A couple that I definitely want to mention is Goblin Slayer. I mean, that's a good one, guys. That's a really good one, a really interesting one. I don't know. It's just it has a weird vibe to it, and I dig that. And also, Bloom Into You. I think that series has a really good opening too. It's very slow, and it's very not necessarily slow, but it just melancholy. I think that's the word I'm looking for. And there's a couple of others too that, again, I couldn't put on the list. There's I think Black Clover had an opening recently too. I haven't even watched that one yet. It's hard. It really is. It's really just about my personal preferences, and this is my personal favorite. It's not necessarily which one is better than the other, but just which one I like more. And I hope you guys comment down below and give me your top 5 favorite openings of this season. What are some of the series that I didn't mention here? What are some of the series that you think deserve to be in a top 5? And also, what are your favorites out of the ones that I've chosen here? Do you like that Bananafish opening? Is Jojo as great as I think it is? And also, Grid Man, are you watching that series? You should be. Anyway, thank you very, very much for watching, and thank you for supporting the channel and subscribing. I love all of you guys. You're dear to me. And look forward to more future content, and possibly more top 5s. This is my first top 5 on this channel, so yeah, I could do some more. I wouldn't mind. Comment down below if you want some more. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.